In this video, we're going to go through the build process, which if we want to make an item, we choose a bill of material and ultimately put it in finished good or ship it. So we're going to start off right here on our dashboard. You can see we've got a job request. It's empty. Complete jobs. It's empty. We have no jobs in process. And you can also see that right here on jobs. That's empty because there's no history here on this account. So there's a couple ways that'll drive you to create a job. The first one is you can go to your stock alerts and see that there's nothing there. Or let's go back to our items. And let's go to our bike that we created in the last video. So right now the reorder point 0, let me just change that to 10. And again, this is going to be an alert that if our available inventory, so what's here in our main inventory that's not already committed to being manufactured, if our main inventory is less than our reorder point, you can see here we get a red inventory or number showing we need to build this. So let's go here. We've got our bill of material. We want to make this. We can come in here, look at our bill of material, see the cost, confirm that's what we want to do. We might have multiple bill of materials shown. And this is the one we're going to build. So let's request a build. And let's just say we want to have this again by the 1st. And we're going to build 12 of these. So this is going to come from anybody in the shop. Could be sales driven, stock, whatever it is. And we're just making a request. And now you can see automatically on the item page that our request is there. We wish to build 12, have them completed by the 1st. And you can click on the item and see here our job request is number 1 for this new account. Who made the request, all the parts, what's needed for this job, all the way through the sub-assemblies. Again, we structured this bill of material to be multi-level. So we're going to go check out all these parts to make this assembly, which goes on this item. So let's go back here to our dashboard because we could process the request right there, but I want to show you a different way to come at it. And you can see here, now we have our job number 1 request for this item, the date it was requested, when we need it, and the color here shows that we're not late. Again, it'll be red if we have yet scheduled it. We need it by the 1st. And you can see all your jobs, more than, you might see 5 right there. All of them will show up back on that job list. So let's go ahead and schedule this. We know we want to make this. No inventories transacted into WIP or work in process, which really is an inventory location on the manufacturing floor that we want to track. Nothing happens until we schedule it. And that's what we're going to do here. So you can see we have some shortages. In terms of the frame, we need 12, only none are available. We haven't purchased any or built any. You can see how many are on order but have yet to come in, and how many jobs are in process but have yet to be completed. This allows you to go through each item, basically a shortage report for this job, and say, we don't have enough, but they're going to be available soon, or I need to go there and order more parts or build more parts. And you can just step through each one and see, maybe we need to go place a purchase for this part. So you can wait, schedule it once everything's green. Green shows you have availability. But it's always frustrating as a small company when there's a bunch of rules that say, everything has to be in inventory before you can start a job. It's just not reality. You might have a sub-assembly, or you can got an hour break between customers or something, and you want to put together a couple of parts, make progress. marginSHARK is super flexible where you can kick off a job and have nothing in inventory, go work your shortages. We're not trying to dictate how you do business. We're trying to help you be successful. So in this case, let's do that. We don't have anything, not all the parts are in inventory. And let's go ahead and schedule this. So the 1st is when it needs to be completed. Let's say we look through our paperwork and plan for the factory and say, all right, we're going to shoot for the 31st, get this out early. The start date is optional. Just kind of gives us visibility when this is going to get launched onto the floor. And say instead of 12, let's go ahead and build 20 of these things. I know we need 12 for maybe a sales order, but 20 makes more sense for us to go ahead and create a job for. So we're going to hit submit. And now you can see we've got a completed job, or a job waiting to be completed. So it moved from the request phase, we scheduled it, and now it's in this complete jobs phase. If we go to our part, again, we see the job, we can see we requested it on the 1st, and that we scheduled it on the 20th, and the number increased. And you can always go in here into the detail and see who did what, when. So let's go back to our dashboard. We can pull up this job, and let's just say we've completed it. We now know, the start date, the complete date, all the costs that went through it. And if we're done with the build, we can come in here and just say complete. It's going to come at the same quantity we scheduled. In parallel to that, let's say we do have some shortages. We can come into our shortage report, and you can see now all these parts are negative. These are things that we needed in our build that weren't in inventory. And so as a buyer, you could come in here and just start purchasing things, getting things in stock, and you're going to see that on your job. So again, let's come back here. We're going to complete like we just did off our dashboard. Hit confirm. Oh, wait, let's go through one thing real quick. Let's look at one item on this bill, because you're going to see we're now minus 20 in inventory, and we have 20 of these in process. So we know where our inventory is. This time for real, we'll complete it. All right, so now it's gone from our completed jobs. We can see all of our past jobs if we wish. That was completed on this date. We can go to the item, see that the job was completed. Our last cost just is shown instead of in that previous video, our purchase cost. Our last cost in this time was a job, and it took us 10 days. We completed it. And you can also look at it this way. So here we have a pretty good history of when the request was, when the schedule was created, what the schedule was, and when it was completed. And if all goes right, come back to our item. We now have 20 in inventory, and all those raw materials were converted to a new assembly, which we could sell or build into another assembly. So that gives you a real quick taste of how jobs work in marginSHARK. Again, really flexible. We want to help you be successful by allowing you to, break some of the rules that typical MRP systems have. If you want to establish rules, that's up to you. But we don't want to create something that limits how each person does business. It's really hard to create one system that works for everybody. So we give you flexibility to do what you do, not what we want you to do. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or want to create an account for your business, just go to marginshark.com. Thank you.